He wheeled his suitcase into the hotel lobby, checked in under his real name, and rode the elevator up. By morning, his bed was untouched, his suitcase was still by the window, and he was gone. No one saw him leave. No keycard ever opened his door again. In a building full of cameras, it was as if the hotel had swallowed him. Tonight, we're opening a file on hotels where guests checked in, unpacked, maybe ordered room service, and then disappeared without leaving a trace. These are not urban legends or ghost stories. They're real cases where timelines break, cameras fail, and ordinary hallways turn into dead ends. On Dark File Archive, we don't chase jump scares. We look at the details, the timelines, and the gaps in between. The goal isn't to sensationalize tragedy. It's to understand how a place designed for rest and routine can become the last verified location of someone who never made it home. Our first case begins in a business district, inside a high-rise hotel that prides itself on security. A mid-level manager on a work trip checks in late after a delayed flight. He calls his family from the lobby, jokes about the long travel day, and confirms his room number with them. Keycard in hand, he takes the elevator up. CCTV shows him stepping out, rolling his suitcase down the hallway and unlocking his door. That's the last time he's seen on camera. The timeline is tight. Shortly after midnight, his phone goes dark. No more messages, no calls, no social media activity. His laptop never connects to the hotel Wi-Fi. The next morning, he fails to show up for his meeting. His colleagues call the front desk, and a staff member goes to knock on his door. The room is empty. But it doesn't look like a room someone slept in. The bed is made untouched. His suitcase is open by the window, clothes folded inside. His wallet, passport, and phone are on the desk. Even his watch is there, placed neatly next to the remote. Hotel records show no one entering or leaving the room after he arrived. The keycard data backs that up. His card is only used once when he first goes in. No one else has a card issued for that room. The door never registers another entry. So how did he leave? Security footage from the hallways, stairwells, and exits is reviewed frame by frame. They find him riding up to his floor. They never find him riding down. He never appears in the lobby again. He's not seen on any of the emergency stairwell cameras, and not a single camera shows him leaving through any exit, front or back. Confirmed facts: his belongings were still inside. His ID and money were left behind. No signs of a fight, no sign that he packed up and left voluntarily. No malfunction is flagged in the door logs, no one else is assigned to that room. Theories range from the mundane to the impossible. Some suggest a failure in the hotel's camera coverage, blind spots, cameras that were angled just slightly too high, a stairwell with a dead angle. Others whisper about staff involvement, a side door, or a service elevator not recorded like the guest lifts. More speculative ideas go further, suggesting the timeline we see on the cameras isn't the real one, or that footage might have been altered. But on paper, in the official record, there is a man who enters his room and is never documented leaving it. Our next case takes us to a seaside resort town, where a solo traveler checks in for what's supposed to be a quiet holiday. She arrives in the late afternoon, posting photos from the lobby and her balcony view. Friends see her updates in real time. A drink by the pool, a sunset shot from the rooftop bar, a quick message that she's going to shower and rest for the next day's activities. Hotel staff remember her as polite, tired, and excited to explore the area. CCTV shows her taking the elevator up to her floor in the evening, wearing casual clothes and carrying a small tote bag. She exits, walks down the corridor, and disappears around the corner towards her room. Records show her keycard successfully unlocks the door. That's where the timeline starts to fracture. The next morning, she doesn't come down for the breakfast she'd prepaid. Her tour group waits in the lobby. She never appears. Calls to her room ring unanswered. By afternoon, the hotel is notified formally that she may be missing. When staff open her room with a master key, they find the TV on, muted. A half-finished bottle of water sits on the nightstand. Her suitcase is unpacked, clothes in the closet. Her travel documents and wallet are placed together on the desk. The bed looks slept in. There are no clear signs of forced entry, and no obvious struggle is reported. Cameras are pulled. The hallway footage shows her stepping off the elevator. It does not show her coming out of her room afterward. There's no trace of her on the stairs. She doesn't appear in the lobby, the pool, or any of the restaurants after that time. Her phone stops connecting to the local network shortly after she's last seen. One confirmed detail stands out: the balcony door. Some staff later recall that it was found unlocked. The room is several floors up, with a view facing a mix of rooftops and a distant shoreline. From that height, a fall might not be easily visible from the ground, especially in the dark. But extensive searches around the property and nearby did not lead to any clear discovery. Theories focus on that balcony. Could she have fallen accidentally in the night? Could someone have accessed the balcony from an adjacent room or from a service area? Others point instead to the hotel's layout: service corridors, staff-only exits, delivery entrances where cameras might not cover every angle. Some observers wonder if she voluntarily left the room and the hotel through an area that wasn't properly monitored. However, we're left with the same core problem. Cameras that should tell a simple story instead cut off at the exact moment the mystery begins. Our third case begins in a budget hotel near a busy transport hub, the kind of place people choose for one night between flights or trains. A young backpacker checks in late after midnight, carrying only a small bag and wearing a large hoodie. They pay in advance for one night, give a valid ID, and receive their room key. The receptionist remembers them asking what time they needed to check out the next day. Nothing seems unusual. The elevator camera captures them stepping in alone, pressing their floor, and staring down at their phone. As the doors open, they step out into a nearly empty hallway. One camera at the end of the corridor shows them walking toward their room, then moving past the frame. Minutes later, a noise is picked up on a camera microphone further down, a faint thump or bump, hard to identify. Visually, nothing is seen. No one else appears on that floor for over half an hour. In the morning, housekeeping knocks on the door for cleaning. No response. The bed is made. The room looks like no one ever used it. The keycard logs show that the door never actually opened after check-in. The last recorded use of the card is the moment it was encoded at the front desk. So where did that guest go between the lobby and the door that never registers as unlocked? Performed audits show no sign of them leaving through the main lobby. They are not captured on any stairwell camera. They don't appear on the ground floor again. No one comes to claim their belongings because there are none in the room. Here, the facts are almost frighteningly simple. A person walks into a hotel, steps into an elevator, and then vanishes in the space between two cameras, with no physical trace in the room they were assigned. Possibilities include a technical failure in the lock system, where the door opens without recording it. Maybe the keycard was misprogrammed and the guest accidentally entered a different room by mistake. Could they have changed their mind and left via a side exit not covered by cameras? Or did they connect with someone else in the corridor, someone who led them into a part of the hotel guests never see? Without footage, the gap between elevator and door becomes a black box. A few meters of carpeted hallway become the last known stretch of ground someone walked on. Our final case takes place at a conference hotel, the kind that hosts hundreds of people at once. A man attends a multi-day event with colleagues. He shares a room, spends long hours in sessions, and is seen by dozens of people. On the second night, he tells his roommate he's going down to the lobby bar for a short while and will be back soon. He leaves the room in casual clothes, room key in hand. Lobby cameras show him standing alone at the bar, nursing a drink, scrolling through his phone. After a while, he speaks briefly to the bartender, pays, and leaves. The time stamp is just before midnight. He walks toward the elevator, hesitates, then heads instead toward a side corridor leading to a stairwell. A hallway camera captures him turning the corner toward the stairs. He looks slightly unsteady, but not incapacitated. That's the last clear footage of him. The stairwell camera, which should pick him up next, never does. The next morning, he doesn't return to the room. His roommate assumes he woke up early or crashed somewhere else after socializing, but as the day goes on and he misses sessions, concern grows. By evening, hotel security is formally involved. His luggage, laptop, and conference materials are still in the room. His ID and personal items are on the desk. His bed looks slept in from the night before, but untouched since. His phone location data, where available, pings last inside the hotel. Searches focus on the stairwells, the roof, storage areas, and any place a person might have accidentally gone or become trapped. The hotel has multiple stairwells, some ending in locked doors or service corridors. One of them leads to a basement level with restricted access. Staff say those doors are locked and alarmed. Logs show no alarms triggered that night. No one reports seeing him after that hallway camera records him turning toward the stairs. Some theories focus on an unseen fall or a medical emergency in a place where cameras don't cover every inch and doors sometimes stick or jam. Others consider more deliberate scenarios, involving other guests or staff, and the possibility of leaving through a less obvious route. The more speculative theories suggest manipulation of camera footage or log data, but those claims are hard to prove without direct evidence. In each of these cases, something simple should have happened. A guest checks in, spends a night or two, and leaves. There should be a record, a checkout, a credit card charge, a camera shot of them exiting through the lobby doors, or at least a clear explanation. Instead, we get rooms that look paused mid-story, suitcases half unpacked, wallets and passports untouched, beds slept in once then abandoned, cameras that show someone walking down a hallway then never show them walking back. What connects these disappearances isn't just the setting. It's the way familiar systems fail. Door locks that don't tell the whole truth. Cameras that capture everything until the exact second they don't. Corridors that feel safe because so many people have walked them before until one person doesn't make it to the other end. Maybe the answers are hidden in blind spots, technical glitches, and human error. Maybe some of these guests walked out of frame, started new lives, or met with quiet, explainable accidents in places we simply haven't found yet. Or maybe hotels are more maze-like than we realize, full of doors and passageways that never show up in the glossy booking photos. So what do you think? Are these disappearances the result of overlooked details and incomplete security systems? Or is there something more unsettling about places where thousands of strangers sleep under one roof every night? If you have a theory about which of these cases has the simplest answer, and which one feels truly impossible, let us know in the comments. And if you want more real stories of people who vanished from ordinary spaces, consider subscribing to Dark File Archive and tell us which kind of case you want us to open next. Because checking in is easy. It's what happens or doesn't happen after that keeps us awake.